What's up, everybody? Welcome to the next video in our Quick Start course. Today, we are going to be talking about creating your designs, creating your first designs. I've got a lot of really cool stuff to share with you. There are basically two paths to take here. You can do it yourself or you can hire it out. So first, let's talk about doing it yourself. There are tons of software out there that you can use. You have Canva, which is super popular. A lot of people know how to use it. It's really easy to do. You have Photopea, which is like this online open source version of Photoshop in a sense. Then you have Adobe Illustrator. Illustrator is a very powerful tool. A lot of designers use it. And then you have Adobe Photoshop. This one's my personal favorite because I've been using it for like 15 years and I just kind of go with what I know. And then there are a whole lot more. Don't limit yourself to these. But if you're brand new and just starting out, what I would probably do first is Canva and Photoshop. Canva and Photoshop. And if you get stuck anywhere, there's a gajillion tutorials out there on YouTube. Let's talk real quick about Canva. You can go to canva.com, create a free account. The free version will have everything that you need to create the designs. All the design templates that you could ever want can be downloaded directly from our website. So if you want to create a message card design and you're like, hey, how big is the file? What should the file type be? When we walk you through that process a little later, I'll show you exactly where to download the design template. You can actually upload that right into Canva so that you can see where your safe zones are, where your printable areas are, and things like that. It's super, super easy to use. But anyways, Canva is free. It's got a bunch of super easy drag and drop tools. You can drag text onto the screen. You can make arrows. They have free design elements you can just put right on your message card. I love Canva. It's free. It's super fast. I've made a million designs on it before. I've done it live before too in my Coffee with Michaels. If you get stuck anywhere, there's a ton of resources to help you get through Canva. So Canva is a great choice, especially if you're just starting out and you're on a budget and you don't have a ton of graphic design skills. Next is Adobe Photoshop. Again, Adobe Photoshop is my personal favorite. I've been using it for about 15 years. I know where the tools are and things like that, but Adobe Photoshop is fairly complex. You can see there's a ton of tools over here. You got a bunch of layers over here, color gradients. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do inside of Adobe Photoshop to achieve the exact look and feel that you want. Adobe Photoshop is a paid tool. I think it's $30 a month. Something like that. So if you're serious about this or you already have design skills, maybe go with Adobe Photoshop. If you're brand new, just starting out, don't have a lot of design skills, you're just kind of breaking the ice, so to speak, testing the water out, I would start with Canva. It's free to use. They do have a paid version, which is a little more advanced. I think it's like $10 a month or something like that. So it's totally affordable and it's got everything you could possibly need to create your message cards. Now, if you don't want to do it on your own, if you don't want to create your own message cards and designs, things like that, then you can always hire somebody. And this is a great solution for other people. I've done this both, by the way. I've done my own design, I've hired somebody. I'm in a weird hybrid space now where I outsource most of my design work, but sometimes I just have a very clear vision of what I want to test, and then I'll go design it myself. So I live in this weird kind of hybrid space today, but you do have the two options. You can do it on your own. You can hire somebody. They're both totally valid and you can achieve amazing results with each. Now, a few quick things. If you're going to hire somebody, you're going to pay between $10 and $25 per design. At least that's kind of what you want to go for. I would say 25, 30 bucks is kind of the high end on a designer. If you're paying that much per design, you should be getting world-class designs back from your designer. 10 bucks is probably on the low end. So this is going to be a newer designer, or somebody that's a budget designer. Maybe there's some other reason they haven't increased their prices. Maybe their work is hit or miss, or they take a long time to reply or something like that. So there's kind of a range here, but this is typically the range in my experience. 10 is on the low end, 25 to 30 is kind of on the high end. There are high quality designers galore out there, but you have to find them. You have to find them. It takes a little while. If you're going to test some of these marketplaces I'm about to recommend, I would highly suggest trying several different services or several different graphic designers to find the best one. Don't just go with the first one. Don't just go with a single one. Test a bunch so you can go with the absolute best. There are high quality designers out there. And let me tell you, when you find a high quality designer, they are worth their weight in gold for the amount of time that they'll save you. Sometimes they just you click with them. They just get your ideas and they're able to get things back to you in quick time. Those are amazing designers. And when you find them, you want to hang on to, and don't be afraid to pay them, even on the upper end of this $25, $30 mark. Trust me, it is worth every single penny. Now, where can you go to find some designers and hire this out? Well, Fiverr is a really popular place. Fiverr used to be really cheap. The quality of the stuff you would get from Fiverr was really low. They've done a lot to improve that over the years. They've attracted better talent. Fiverr is not a bad place to go to try and find some decent designers. Again, you're in the same pickle though. You're going to have to test a bunch of different services to find the one that's right for you and to find the one that works. So some pros of Fiverr is they can usually be cheap. There are some pretty cheap gigs out there. They're getting more expensive now where they're allowing you to bundle and package things and sell things in different ways. And if you want things in shorter timelines, that's an upsell and all this kind of stuff. But usually the base cost on a Fiverr gig is $5. I mean, that was the whole idea. It's why it's called Fiverr. You can get $5 gigs here. Over time, the true $5 gigs have kind of dwindled, but they're still out there. So they can be cheap. They can also be fast. And one of the cool things about Fiverr in particular is there's a lot of good oversight and tools. When you make a Fiverr gig and you bought a service from somebody, they have to fulfill it within the contract that they've specified, within the service that they have specified. And if they don't, you can actually go to Fiverr, and Fiverr has enforcement methods and they can get you your money back and things like that. So Fiverr is actually kind of cool because it's a protected space to order services from. So if you have any issues or you're worried about getting ripped off or something like that, Fiverr is a good place to go because they'll kind of protect you from some of that. Now, when it comes to quality, in my experience, Fiverr usually only has so-so quality. The reason is they're just completely overwhelmed with gigs. If you look at any particular Fiverr gig and you look at the reviews and just how many of these designs they're cranking out, it's unbelievable. It's hard to believe that they can keep up with that kind of demand, which makes me think most of these Fiverr gigs are entire teams of people. They're usually not just one individual, which is kind of the front on the whole Fiverr. And when they're cranking out that many designs, you have to ask yourself, how much attention, how much detail, how much thought are they actually giving your design that you're paying money for? At any rate, Fiverr is still a good place to go to test. I still use Fiverr from time to time, not often. I prefer this next option I'm about to share with you, which is Upwork. Upwork is typically where I go to find my freelancers. A few things about Upwork. So again, you're going to have to interview multiple designers, interview and test multiple designers. So anytime I create a job on Upwork and I'm looking for freelance graphic designers, what I'll typically do is I'll give them a task. I'll say, right inside my job, I'll say, hey, go look at this. I want you to create me your best version of this and send that to me in your proposal so that I can review. Or I'll say, give me samples of your work that fit this. Like I'll get very specific. And then when they send me the samples of their work, I'll be able to go through those samples and see which designers stand out and which ones don't. And I'll take it a step further at that point. And then I'll ask for another example, another sample, or something like that. Don't be afraid to ask for this stuff before you ever hire them. This is the interview. You want them to prove themselves to you, and you can do this on Upwork. I've done it time and time and time again. Now, a few other things about Upwork. You're not really bound by contracts, and you typically have to manage them. You have to kind of micromanage the contractor. So here's what I mean by this. If you hire somebody on Upwork and they don't deliver, you do have recourse to go get some money back. It just doesn't feel quite as secure to me as Fiverr. Another thing is you really have to micromanage your freelancer. You have to specify exactly the type of work you want, when you want it done by, when you want it back, and things like that. So you have to lay out all those parameters for them. Where Fiverr, it's kind of in reverse. They'll tell you exactly how long it's going to take based on the gig that you buy. Whereas here, you're assigning a job and you're telling them how long you want it to take. So it's a little different. The specifications of the job are in reverse. So just kind of keep that in mind with Upwork. Upwork is like hiring a freelance contractor where Fiverr is paying for a service. Those are the two differences. And then when it comes to the quality, I find medium to high quality designers on Upwork. The high quality designers are definitely out there. You just have to dig to find them. You have to dig for the gold. And if you interview 20, 30 designers, usually you can find one or two that are cream of the crop. And those are the people you want to hang on to. And then finally, if Fiverr and Upwork are not really working out for you, we also have our own graphic design community. It's the ShineOn Graphic Design group. If you go into Facebook and you search ShineOn Graphic design, you'll come right to this group. And this group is filled with super high quality graphic designers that are very familiar with ShineOn products, and they're constantly putting out amazing designs. I mean, just look at these here in this little GIF I put together for you right before I filmed this. These are beautiful. The necklaces fall perfectly on the message cards. The phrases are laid out really succinctly and very well. You can see that even in the phrases, a lot of times the punchline is kind of highlighted. They're doing a lot of things right in this group. So if you want to go find a really high quality graphic designer, it's already familiar with our products, that is going to be able to take your phrase or whatever it is and lay it out on a message card in a way that they think is going to sell well based on their research of previous bestsellers, I really think this is a great place to go. Another way you can get to this group is if you click tools over on the left-hand sidebar, there will be a link to the group inside of that page. Now, a few things real quick. Super high quality. You can tell just by the ones that are scrolling through here. They're awesome. Pretty affordable. You are going to pay more on the high end of the spectrum with designs in this group. Trust me, it is worth every single penny. They already know our products, which is great. And the other thing that's cool is you're supporting our own community. At ShineOn, one of the things we've done that really stands out is we're super transparent. Our community is amazing. We are all a family around here. Many of the people in our community know multiple people that work at ShineOn and vice versa. We recognize your names. I do Coffee with Michaels every single Friday, and I recognize many of the people that come to it week after week after week. It's truly an amazing thing. So this is a great way you can kind of support our community, support our own, and help us grow this incredible thing that we're building here. All right, everybody, that concludes this video of the Quick Start course. I hope you found it helpful, and we'll see you in the next one.